Hi everyone, I'm JD from Willow Channels. Welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to share with you this journal that I made. It is a concept journal. If you don't know what that is, it's where you tell a story through the journal. And so I'm telling the love story between these two through vintage papers and ephemera. And oh my goodness, it might be my most favorite journal I've made so far. I got so attached to it in terms of my emotions were completely in this one, with the story that I created for it. So much so that as I was putting it together and adding the sewing, I found myself becoming emotional and almost tearing up at the beauty of this story. And I was like, that's a bit weird. But then I thought about how when you read a book and you read someone's story, you can tear up in books. So I guess it's the same thing, what we can create in journals. We're not writing our words down. It's not words that are moving us, but we're still telling a story just as much through paper and ephemera, which is amazing that we can do that. This journal really showed me that. You can, very much tell a story through what you put in here. So every little element, all the details are in here for a reason. Okay, here's the story. This could be a long video. I hope you enjoy it. So the story is he is a mechanic by trade, but a musician by hobby, and they both love music. So he plays piano, and all of the music paper that I've included in this journal are there to represent their love of music, and also it tells the love story through all the paper has something to do with love. And then she is a librarian by trade, but she also, her hobby is gardening. So you'll see that there's music pages throughout to represent him and floral pages throughout the journal to represent her. And then, this is the story. Okay, so while they were dating, he would write her letters and she kept some of the stationery that he wrote to her with. So here's the paper and one of the envelopes, and because she's like a scrapbook journaler, so she created a scrapbook journal of their love story. So she just tucked it inside this vellum envelope that she made to keep it safe and protected, and then slipped it in there like that. This lace is from her wedding dress to tie it up. She had both buttons down the back and lace ribbon to fasten her wedding dress. I left a generous amount because if you're going to fill this journal up, it's going to grow, so it will grow as it fills out. With the lace closure, I included some charms to go with the story as well. Okay, so family, this is the story of her family, how it began, creating her own family. This is the something new from her wedding day, her earrings, which were the earrings that I wore to a wedding in real life. So a bit of personal connection with me. And this represents something borrowed. So she borrowed her mother's pearl necklace that her mother wore at her own wedding. So I love that idea. And there's something old and something blue in here as well. We'll get to that. Again, the paper has all to do with the story. Love is a rose, so there's roses throughout. Her bouquet was roses for her wedding. She kept her first anniversary card, and because of her job as a librarian, there's a card there. Also, where you can write the details of the journal if you want to introduce, like an introduction page. Letter charm, because they communicated through letters while they were dating. So they grew up as like neighbors, next door neighbors as kids. And then he went away to college or something like that, and they corresponded through letters during that time. And so this is the paper that she wrote on during that time. And then this was their first official date that he took her on. She kept the tickets to the movies that they went to, and a rose. He gave her flowers while they were dating as well. And her favourite colour is pink and blue, so represented there. And his favourite colour could be blue, and his favourite colour is green as well, represented with that. And then that's one of the envelopes she kept from her stationery, the beautiful Edith Holden pages to represent her love of gardening. Isn't it just gorgeous? This vintage postcard to represent the honeymoon, and there's a rose as well that goes with the theme. So yeah, lots of vintage pieces inside and lots of one-off original pieces as well, which is really fun. So this is one of the cards for people to sit at the wedding, one of their visitors, one of their friends. This hat pin is the something old. That was from her grandmother. And then this was actually from a wedding, the one that I helped decorate. So again, something authentic and personal there. And then she kept some decorations from her own wedding. There's the earring deer heart, beautiful. It's like the writing letters and the love song and the music all tied in with that paper. This is the something blue she wore. So that's the ribbon she wore in her hair. And then this will come into play later. The February will come into play later. They did a waltz. They danced to a waltz. This was the music they danced to at their wedding. Love it. This is so cool with the heart wax seal as well. Photos, vintage photos from their honeymoon and a family holiday. How adorable. Oh my goodness, you guys. So cute. Wallpaper from their first home. Guest check from a place they stayed at during their honeymoon. I tried to, as always with my journals, yes, they can be fully embellished and everything, a lot going on, but I do want to make sure you can have room to tell your own story. This is just a backdrop to tell your own story. So I do want to make sure there's places for you to add lots of writing and photos and ephemera of your own. Marry the belle. He did. She loves him. I love that. All fitting. She kept one of the acceptance cards to her wedding, and this was a gold envelope that they sent out the wedding invitations with. Another love music page. This represents her and him on one of their dates, sleeping underneath the stars, having a picnic under the stars. Pink, that's the colour she painted for one of the rooms in their house. He would call her as well after writing letters, then they would call each other. The story of their family, love it. This represents her job as a librarian. This is an anniversary card, first year anniversary card, and he bought her a dog for their first anniversary. So they settled down for the first year, and then he got her a dog. Romeo and Juliet, a love story, and a vintage swap card or playing card of a rose, again her favourite, and to represent a bouquet. They got married in June. And look at this, awake with flowers. Look at that, love that, because she loves flowers. They got married in June. Music paper tags that I made. Each of them has something to do with love on them. See, every little detail, I've been very selective, and that's why, like in a book, when you write a book, every word in there counts towards the story, the telling of the story. So I haven't used words, I've used papers to tell a story. My cat is just meowing in the background. And then along came a baby boy, and she sewed him a jumpsuit using this beautiful fabric. I just let my cat out. And this is an envelope that the cards came in for the baby, and then a vintage library card to represent her job again and her love of books. One of the cards with a beautiful rose that he gave her for her birthday, or for just loving her, Valentine's Day maybe. Then they had a girl, so they had a boy and a girl, and this is fabric she used to make a dress for her daughter, who was born in February. That's why February. Also, Valentine's Day, got to represent that. Another tag, and she kept one of their engagement cards that they received. So fun, this story. Oh my goodness. And then she kept some of the fabric from her tablecloth. There's a green thread on there from their first home. Perhaps her auntie made that for her in this concept story. And then this is some lace from the bodice of her wedding dress, and a button from the buttons that did it up at the back. And then this is really special. So he's a mechanic by trade, and this was from his like reference mechanic book. Like literally, this was from a mechanic book. And at the back of the book, there's an agenda. So that's his handwriting. I love it. Oh my gosh, so special. Oh, again, that is authentic vintage from 19. Let me have a look at the book. 1933, which my brother-in-law gave me this. So to me, it's very sentimental as well. And you can see the agenda at the back. So, oh my goodness. You guys, this journal has everything. I love it. Then a library card that is collaged on, so you can actually write on this, that I'm handmade with stitching. It says heart there. So again, to represent her. So they're equally represented in this journal. Again, flowers that he bought for her. And she loves, you know, attracting birds to her garden. They went on a horse ride one time. Oh, these vintage swap cards are just adorable. One to represent their son and one to represent their daughter. You could write on the back of those if you wanted. But just such special pieces, you know, these authentic vintage pieces. Oh, amazing. Again, a page from his mechanic book. And, oh my goodness, I love how this turned out. Oh, it was just so fun to put together. What a journey. Yeah, I loved it. I'm going to take some photos of this now because I believe one of my patrons has snapped this up. As always, they get first access to my journals as a little perk to thank them for their amazing support. And I just absolutely love how this turned out. Oh my goodness. I hope you enjoyed that flip through. I hope you enjoyed their story. And I hope it gave you maybe some inspiration, some ideas for how you can put together your own meaningful story through a journal. And like, it doesn't have to be a made up story. You could obviously do your own personal love story or any story. And this is what we do. This is what we do when we put our journals together. Even our journaling, we don't have to even make a journal. But by the papers and the pieces that we put onto our pages, the photos, ephemera, the things that we love, fabric, lace, that's now telling our story as we fill that thing up. Oh my gosh, I'm seeing journals in a whole new way. It's so amazing. Anyway, I love this journal so much. It's really ignited something in me, I guess, sparked something in me with the whole being able to tell a story through a journal. Like, I always knew you could do that, but this one just took it to a whole nother level. Anyway, let's tell our stories through our journals, guys. Oh, new catchphrase. Be sure to tell your story through your journals, through papers and lace and all that good stuff. Okay, I'm thinking I've got to do another quote card. All right, here we go. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you're doing really, really well, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys. A big thank you to my beautiful patrons who supported me in July and allowed me to work full time on this channel for yet another month. If you would like to become a patron in August and get access to videos, printables, and sneak peeks, first access to all my creations at the Ruby tier, you get every single digital kit from my Etsy plus a new one every month. There's also personal updates and behind the scenes looks, so feel free to sign up. The link is down below in the description box.